All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Big waves out there. Happy Thursday. Thank you guys for letting me know the day of the week because sometimes we need help with that. I am actually in um, Utah. Had to think for a second of the name of the town, but we are here. I'm actually at the Partner Co office right now, and I wish I had planned a little bit better because I would have taken you guys on a little tour, but I didn't plan very well. So maybe tomorrow because we'll be here. Well, I think we'll be in the area tomorrow, so maybe we can plan something like that. We'll try. But the word for today, well, a couple things. First of all, we have a birthday girl. So Lisa is actually here in Utah, Lisa Williamson. So I'm not sure if she's going to be on here. So if you're here, Lisa, let us know in the chat. Otherwise, if you know her, love her via Facebook, Lisa Williamson, it is her birthday. And our word today comes from Marlene Trenholm. So Marlene, thank you for the words. And she went for E-words. And I was cracking up because we got some words from Francis as well, and he sent us a few E-words. So there must be a theme in the world right now to do a lot of E-words. So if you guys have some words for me, it can be from any letter, but send them my way. But the word is effort. And so the definition of effort is a vigorous or determined attempt. So hard work of mind or body requires time and effort, serious attempt, try, physical or mental activity needed to achieve something or an attempt to do something. So, okay, that's pretty kind of cut and dry. But if we look into effort a little bit more, kind of understanding kind of the I don't know, the heart behind it, all I can think of is, this is going to sound a little silly, but dating. Okay, so it's been a minute. I haven't dated in about 30 years now. So, I'm a little behind on the times, but I just think about back then in the day when I was dating, longer than 30 years. But anyway, I'm not going to think about that anymore. Is what I noticed in people was the effort. What kind of effort did they bring in to the relationship? Did they walk to the door when they went to pick me up, or did they do the dreaded honk? I'll tell you, I had one gentleman caller attempt to honk and I did not walk out. I'm like, you don't honk. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go over super well. Maybe I'm a princess, but that did not go over really well. But then throughout the relationship, when people make in a friendship and parenting, when they make that little tiny effort, don't we feel it? I have a dear friend that has been, reaching out to me about this tooth. What's terrible that I didn't go out or that they haunt? He'll let me know which direction. But I don't know if you guys recall, I broke a tooth and it's been a disaster. We're still dealing with it. Surgery is set for the 22nd. So we have a light at the end of the tunnel, but I've got a girlfriend that just keeps checking in. How are things going? And she's making that little extra effort. And I think about the different people in our life that just go a little bit more and what that does for our heart, how that feels. And so I know that might not be the first thing that happened or you think of when you think of the word that they haunt. Yes, not a gentleman. They didn't get the date, Hill, so we did okay. But are you making the extra effort in your life, in your relationships, in with the different people that you're, hanging out with? And so the quote that I found was, give your best effort because you are worth your best effort. And that's Dennis Waitley. And that makes me think about, again, kind of a weird topic, but cleaning the bathroom. And I know, guys, we're all over the place today. So we kind of went in all different directions. But again, when I come home, I want my bathroom to look beautiful and I want to feel comfortable in there and everything to be nice and neat and clean and all of those good things. And so I'm going to give my best effort. And I read a quote one time that was talking about, do your best at the worst, because you deserve to have the best in all of the things. So if my job is to clean the commode, well, I better do my absolute best to make that happen. So what I looked into was, okay, this all sounds well and good. I want to do my best. I want to give my best effort, but how do I make sure that I am? And so first of all, I've got to set clear goals. I've got to define specific, achievable goals that align with my values and my aspirations, and then break those down into smaller, manageable tasks to make the progress attainable. So, what do I want? What does Andrea want in her life? We all know I want to be able to lift the luggage, and now I got to figure out how to get it up and down stairs. Didn't realize that was a need, but now we know that. I want to be a good grandma, which means I've got to have a great relationship with my kids now so that they let me be around those grandbabies possibly someday. I want to be able to, help as many people as possible. So I got to start small, whatever that looks like. Got to set those goals, big goals, small goals, personal goals, spiritual goals, all of it. And then I've got to go to break that down into little tiny steps. And that reminds me of my Bible study. And I've got to look it up. So I'm glad Brent's not here because he's going to make fun of me that I don't remember what it's called. But it's called the Bible Recap. And you read the entire Bible in 1 year. And if you had told me, okay, you're going to read the Bible this year, that would have seemed like too big of an effort. But when we break it down into little tiny bits, well, then it makes it possible. So set those clear goals and then break it down. Next, I've got to cultivate discipline. I love that discipline is something that we can develop. So having that habit of, going about your day, exercising, eating well, whatever it looks like for you to align with your goals. But if we develop that discipline within us, we'll keep going. So we shush down that voice that tells us, oh, roll over, go back to bed, it's okay. And instead we listen to the voice that says, okay, let's go get it. Let's go, keep focused, even if we have some setbacks. I've got to prioritize time management. That's the next one. So we're all busy. I don't know anybody on here that's like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to sit around and do nothing. And we all find a way to fill our time. Even if we're just filling our time with our favorite TV shows, we're still filling our time and we feel busy inside of ourselves. So we've got to efficiently allocate our time in a way that reduces the stress and the anxiety that happens when we feel like we're running behind. So minimize those distractions, focus on putting away the distractions and the procrastination that sometimes can creep in, and create a schedule that allows time for that dedicated focus. So don't overdo it. Sometimes we try to break it down into like 5-minute increments and we get really far behind because we overdid it. But if we kind of figure out a good flow for our day, it's going to allow our efforts to be more effective. Next is to embrace challenges. We're all going to have challenges. Every single one of us. Doesn't matter if we're where we are in this walk of life. So we have to view them as obstacles, not a roadblock, right? It's just the speed bump. It's not the roadblock, so that we can approach that with that positive mindset, resilience, and a willingness to go problem solve and figure out how we can get to the other side. Next, we've got to seek feedback. Do you have somebody amazing in your life that you see that is making the effort that you want to make, right? Somebody that's achieving the goals that you want to achieve, somebody that you go, I want what they have. Well, go ask them what they're doing and where you don't align. Because sometimes we can look at somebody and maybe it's in business and we're like, well, their business is going like this and my business might be here or might even be here. And if I'm not open to hearing what they're doing and also what I'm not, how am I going to grow? So I want to make sure that I get that additional feedback so that I can make a better effort. And then, well, I'm like, which one do I want to end with? I want to end with that one, but I'm going to talk about this one. So stay flexible, right? I can be very rigid. You guys know I like my way and only my way, and that's the right way. Of course, nobody tries to have the wrong way, but we have to be flexible in order to continue that effort. We've got to be adaptable and open-minded in our approach to reaching our goals. We've got to next celebrate our progress. So I love, love, love when we will sit down and talk about our wins for the day. This is something that I like to do with the kids. Not as consistent if mom's not home, but maybe I can practice that on our FaceTime calls. But when we say, how did you win today? What was a good thing? How can we celebrate that progress? I don't care what it is. It can be a little tiny thing, because guess what? How about you? But I know with me, I will beat myself up over the little tiny thing. So why can't I celebrate myself over the little tiny things as well? So go celebrate yourself in those small moments. And then I'm going to end with this one. If we truly want to be able to make our best effort and we want to be able to get farther in our life, we've got to take care of this. We have to practice self-care. And sometimes when we think of self-care, we think of, I don't know, the big things. I'm going to go to a spa day. I'm going to take a vacation. I don't even know. I'm not very good at this. But self-care is actually the small stuff, making sure that you're getting enough sleep at night, anyway, getting enough sleep at night, that you're taking care of your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, all of it, that you're getting enough rest, you're eating the right foods, you're moving your body in the ways that are good for you and work really well with your, physiology. So make sure that you're taking care of this vessel, because man, if I feel like garbage, I'm going to kind of act like garbage. I might have a bad attitude. I'm going to have low energy. I'm not going to do all the things that are going to help me move the needle, and I'm not going to give my best effort. So that's what I had today. As you might have noticed, I didn't even mention that, but we do not have Mr. Brent today because he had another Zoom at the same time with corporate. A little bit of a snafu with scheduling, but it happens. So I do not see Lisa Williamson on here this morning. So if you're here, let us know in the chat, but I don't see her. So if you see her out in Facebook land, give her a little bit of love. But thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Love you all so much. And we'll see you over on the IPA next. But love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.